Why would a 13th century mystic poet speak directly to the mind of a modern physicist? Why would a man who danced in the desert under the stars be quoted in data-driven boardrooms, science lectures, and university halls? Because behind the metaphors, behind the whirling dervishes and divine intoxication, Rumi was doing something many scientists strive for, uncovering the hidden layers of reality. And in a world increasingly focused on reason, numbers, and logic, perhaps we need mysticism more than ever, not as a rejection of science, but as a companion to it. Welcome to Unfolding Journey, where we explore ideas that connect ancient wisdom with modern minds. If you're someone who seeks meaning beyond the obvious, who believes that poetry and science aren't enemies, but partners, you're in the right place. Let's unfold this journey together, one verse at a time. The divide that isn't. We're often told there's a divide. Science is for the rational, and spirituality is for the emotional. One deals in facts, the other in feelings. One builds rockets, the other writes poetry. But is that line as firm as we think? Enter Jalal al-Din Rumi, a 13th century Persian Sufi mystic, poet, and philosopher, whose verses are quoted by both lovers and logic professors. His poems, drenched in longing for the divine, have also been interpreted as metaphors for consciousness, ego, the universe, and the self. So let's bridge the worlds. Let's ask, what does Rumi offer the rational, scientific mind? The metaphor of the universe. Take this famous verse. You're not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. To the spiritual seeker, it's an affirmation of divine essence. To a scientist, it echoes holographic theory, where every part contains the whole. It mirrors quantum entanglement. It resonates with the idea that within each particle lies the blueprint of the cosmos. The metaphor isn't unscientific. It's poetic language for the ineffable, which science also seeks to grasp. Observation of the inner world. Science is based on observation. But what do we do when the subject is not material? Rumi writes, "The quieter you become, the more you can hear." This isn't escapism, it's introspection. Today, neuroscience and psychology validate practices like mindfulness and meditation, proving their benefits on the brain. Rumi was, in many ways, a scientist of the inner landscape. He studied not molecules but moods, not cells but the soul. His laboratory? Silence, prayer, and whirling. Ego, self, and the illusion of control. Modern cognitive science teaches us that much of what we perceive as self is a construction, formed by memory, habit, and neural patterns. Rumi seemed to know this centuries ago. Try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. He challenges the ego, not to destroy identity, but to reveal its impermanence. This aligns with scientific concepts in psychology and even Buddhist-influenced mindfulness therapies like DBT and ACT. In both traditions, surrender isn't passivity. It's attunement to reality, the dance of chaos and order. To a physicist, the universe is full of entropy. Chaos is inevitable. But chaos doesn't mean meaningless. Rumi writes, "Don't you know yet? Is your light that lights the worlds." That light may be poetic, but it's also physical. Light is energy, and energy forms the backbone of existence. Without light, we perceive nothing. To the rational mind, this is symbolic of our role as conscious observers. As quantum physics has shown, observation itself influences reality. Rumi's mysticism doesn't defy science. It invites it to look deeper. Curiosity as devotion. Scientists are driven by wonder. They ask why, not to dismantle belief, but to understand it better. Rumi asked the same questions, just with different tools. Sell your cleverness and buy bewilderment. This isn't anti-intellectual. It's meta-intellectual. Rumi suggests that beyond clever theories lies the raw awe of being. And this awe is what leads to true breakthroughs, whether in a lab or on a prayer mat. The limits of language. Physics has reached realms where words fail. Dark matter, string theory, the multiverse. Scientists often admit they don't know how to describe certain phenomena. Rumi says, "Silence is the language of God. All else is poor translation." In both mysticism and science, language is a tool, not the truth itself. Just like mathematical models are approximations, so are poems. But both try to express realities beyond our normal grasp. Mystics and scientists both use symbols, metaphors, and models. The only difference? One uses numbers, the other uses words. Unity across divides. Modern science seeks unification of physics, forces, particles. Rumi says, "Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there's a field. I'll meet you there." That field may as well be the unified field theory. But more deeply, it's a reminder that at the core of things, there is oneness, not division. In a world fragmented by categories, science versus religion, East versus West, body versus soul, Rumi dissolves them. He doesn't destroy logic. He transcends it. So what can a rational mind learn from Rumi? Rumi doesn't ask you to abandon your skepticism. He invites you to see that mysticism isn't a retreat from truth. It's an embrace of the parts of truth that data alone can't describe. He helps the rational mind rediscover wonder. He doesn't fight science. He deepens its impact. He tells the scientist, yes, dissect the world, but don't forget to feel it. Yes, explore the stars. But remember, you are made of them. Yes, build a machine. But ask yourself, what powers it? In the end, Rumi's mysticism and the scientific worldview aren't mutually exclusive. They're mutually enhancing. Science gives us knowledge. Mysticism gives us meaning. Together, they form wisdom. And in this age of disconnection, perhaps the most radical act for a scientific mind is to read a 13th century mystic and whisper, maybe he's onto something. Thank you for joining us on this unfolding journey. If Rumi has stirred something in your scientific soul, or your soul has nudged your logical mind, there are many more paths to explore. So if you're curious about the meeting point between ancient wisdom and modern thought, subscribe to Unfolding Journey. Tap the bell to stay connected as we unfold the questions that have no easy answers, but are still worth asking. Let's keep seeking, questioning, and unfolding together.